What's up, guys? It's Chris. I have had so many questions about certain things dealing with uh witchcraft. This is going to be 15 basic facts that you should know before you do your practice. I got this idea by looking at one of my favorite YouTubers. Her name is Hearth Witch. Um, she did a video based off of 15 basic facts. Some of these I'm going to put my own spin on it because each witch has their different way to, give basic information to beginners. So, we're going to talk about the first one. I have my notebook right here, so if you see me look over like that, it's because I'm looking at my notes. So we have the first one. Know what to expect. What do I mean by that? In her video, she states that her side of things, and this is what I'm going to interpret it for my viewers. When someone comes up to you and says, what can I expect from practicing my craft? What I tell people is Hollywood has made it to where a lot of stuff involving witchcraft is their view. The bad thing about that is nothing that you see in Hollywood about witchcraft, anything like that, is true. You can't fly on a broomstick. You can't bend the elements to your will. You can't do none of that. So, for anyone that thinks like that, it's the sad part about it is I've had a lot of people that I have particularly tutored myself thinking that they can do that. You really can't bend anything to your own will. You can bend your energies to your own will, but you can't bend the elements, bend the weather, fly on a broomstick, float, levitate. You can't do none of that. That's just all Hollywood. Like, they just blow it out of proportion. So, the second tip, and I know I say this in all of my videos when I make my witchcraft videos, do your research. I know everyone's going to be like, Chris, that's getting annoying. You say that in all your videos. Yes, because which part of being part and participating in the witchcraft community itself is you have to do research. Not everything you see. I have certain views on research. Another witch can have it, and then this witch. Everyone has their own views on research. I personally tell all my pupils when I start talking to them about this stuff is do your research. If you see an animal in a dream, look up throughout history, gods and goddesses, polytheistic religions. Look and see what gods and or goddesses are connected to those individual animals. The third thing, cross-reference everything. Everything, your sources, anything. Because there are so many things that are wrong and so many things that are right when it comes to witchcraft, and it gets mashed together. Always make sure you cross-reference your sources. I always do that when I do my own research on anything. If I don't see something in a certain book that I'm reading, I have a lot. Like, almost my entire little closet wardrobe thing on my vanity dresser is filled with nothing but my occult books, along with a small bookshelf. If I see something in a certain book and I read about it, and then I read another book and it states around the same thing or it's completely different, I look to my sources. I do research on it. You can go to anyone that is a practicing witch, ask them if this stuff is true, if this stuff is not, because there are a lot of people that would love, I know I would love to help people understand more about witchcraft. Number 4, know your basics. You might think, Chris, what do you mean by know your basics? What I mean by know your basics is know what you're getting yourself into. Read about it. Do your research. There we go. There's that research statement again. Try to do stuff in your own mindset. Think about this. There's a lot of things that goes around. Think of your whats, or the 4 W's. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Where is this from? And will it work? Those are your 4 W's. That may be different from another witch YouTuber, but those are mine, personally. You have to understand that the basics of witchcraft are very, very good to do. You cannot go off of what anyone else says based off of your basics. Number 5, give yourself some time. Do not rush into this practice. Do your research. If you feel like this is not the path for you, then it's not the path for you. If you want to learn more about it, there are many sources, books, YouTubers, occult shops that are ran by witches, all of that. You have to take some time to do your research. And this is what I always tell my pupils as well, if you cannot see yourself sitting down for an hour doing nothing but research on a certain topic, this is not the path for you. Because a lot of witchcraft comes from research. We do not have the ability or the power to help as many people as we want as witches. And that's why I take in pupils. I have 5 pupils already that I've taught, and they are going great on their path. They are, diving into stuff that I per se disagree with, but they may be okay with that outcome. Take your time when you are getting into a religion. That goes for any other religion, whether that be Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, Muslim, Christianity, all of those. Take your time and really look into those to see if it is the path for you. Number 6, do not run before you walk. What do I mean by that? Don't jump into doing witchcraft, doing your spells, rituals, and all of that when you're a beginner, because you are not going to get the results that you want. And that's what I mean by don't run before you can walk. Take your time doing what you need to do to better your practice. Number 7, I say this too, but I also encourage people as well. But today we're going to not encourage this. Hold back before you buy anything. What I mean by that is hold back before you buy your tools. Your themes, your wands, your cauldrons, your chalices, all of that. hold back buying those until you feel like you are financially stable to buy all of this stuff. As I said in one of my videos, it took me years to get the stuff that I have now. I've been doing this for 14 years, and I just completed my altar. But that's because I took my time and I held off buying stuff before I could even think about being able to afford it. Number 8, don't worry what type of witch you are. Many witches will tell you this. Do not worry what type of witch you are. Do not think because you like astrology and all that you're a cosmo witch. Do not think you're a chaos witch. Do not think of anything. Do not worry about what type of witch you are. You have to look into those different types of witchcraft. That is the number one thing that any witch will tell you to do. Look into your witch branch that you want to go into. I, for one, am a elemental and ancestral witch. I call on my ancestors to guide me through my spells. I worship Mother Nature. I worship the spirits connected to the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, water. I am a nature witch, green witch, whatever you want to call it. I love being out in nature. I love walking in the rain. It's annoying because my shoes get saturated when I'm walking in the rain, but I enjoy it because I listen to the sounds that are around me. I listen to the water falling. I listen to the frogs croaking. I listen to the birds chirping. I listen to the wind swaying in the tree branches of each tree. Everything has its own voice. Number 9, do not rush your gods and goddesses, or do not rush your deities into worshiping your deities or your gods and goddesses. The reason why I'm saying that is because if you rush into worshiping a certain god, goddess, deity, whatever you want to say, and you aren't mentally or physically or even energetically prepared for that commitment to your deities are going to be very, very unhappy with you, and then when you try to do spells, it's going to backfire. That is why we as witches always tell people, do your research, do your research, do your research. It's the same thing with gods and goddesses and or deities. Do your research on those deities. I have had Egyptian deities come to me, Greek deities, Celtic, more Greek deities, more Egyptian, more deities than I can even count. But I make sure I do my research. I recently just got done working with Gaia, Mother Nature, a Greek deity. She showed me what I needed to know, and then that was it. She gave me a vision in my sleep to take her statue that I have off of my altar because she taught me all she could teach. That is what we mean. Why is my ring doing that? That is what we mean by do your research on your deities. Tools are not required and are not your source of your power. You do not need to have all the tools that it takes to be a witch. It doesn't matter. We're going to take that ring off. It doesn't matter what other witches say. And this is why I got a little upset because there are so many witches in this community that say if you do not have your sacred tools, you cannot be a witch. That is not true. You can go out in nature and find a wand or a staff. You can collect things, shells, acorns, leaves, flowers, all of that. And those can be used as your tools for worship. You do not need an athame, a chalice, a cauldron. Like, you don't need all of that stuff to be a witch. There are some things that are cheap that you can buy if you want to start your practice, and that is incense and incense holders. There are some other things that are cheaper to purchase. You can look on Amazon. If there's an occult shop in your area, you can go there and you can think about the prices of each of your things you want. I started out with a $25 cauldron when I first got it. That was the last thing I needed for my practice. I now have a big metal cauldron. It is huge, and it was $85. That is what I mean by do not rush to buy your stuff, because you don't want to make yourself broke. Know your reasonings for your spells. Keep in mind why you are doing this. What are you trying to accomplish from it? Why and what? The two W's. If you're planning on putting a hex on someone, ask yourself, why am I doing this? And what am I doing it towards? It really doesn't matter with anything that I say, but I'm going to use hexes as an example. Why are you doing it? What is your reasoning for doing it? And what do you think you're going to accomplish out of it? I personally cannot badger people that do hexes because I've done a couple myself throughout my practice. I've done a lot. But make sure you look at your reasonings, why you're doing it, and what are you thinking that you are going to achieve by doing this, because you can really mess someone's life up if you just dislike them or you can't stand them. You can really mess that person's life up by doing that stuff. Hate is a strong sense of power, and it is a strong word. You never want to do a spell, hex, or anything on someone because you hate them. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they had to go through to get to where they are. You don't know anything like that. And if that person is ignoring you, and they're not wanting to speak to you, they're not wanting to talk to anyone, you can't take that to heart, because they could be this person that is just, antisocial, that doesn't want to speak to anyone. Follow your instincts. If your gut tells you not to do something, listen to your gut. That is your instincts telling you that something that you are about to do is going to hurt you or hurt others. That is the number one thing. That's second thing that's important. Number one is research. Research and follow your instincts. We as humans have a flight or fight mind in our heads. So if you get a gut feeling, if you're about to do a hex or a curse or anything, or even a spell, and you get a gut feeling that you don't think that this is going to work, do not do it. Because you are going to drain yourself mentally, and you are going to drain your energy out of you. You need to have a lot of mental and physical and a lot of energy to make sure your spells go through. Every witch is different. It doesn't matter. Every witch is different. I can't go down the street and see someone wearing this and say, well, who do you worship? Every witch is different. Some people like to go more for the chaos aspects of witchcraft. Some like to go more for the healing aspects of witchcraft. It really doesn't matter what that witch is wanting to do, because everyone is different. Myself, I am a nature witch, a elemental witch, and an ancestral witch. I follow those paths because those are the paths that I feel more connected to. Do not be forced into witchcraft. Do not, and I don't know how many times I can say do not. Do not be forced into doing witchcraft if you feel like you are not comfortable. There are a lot of people that will try to do that to you. If you have friends that are witches and they're trying to force you to do witchcraft or force you to participate in a ritual and you do not want to do that, you do not have to do that. That is your mind saying, hell no, I don't feel comfortable doing this. Do not be forced to do anything you do not want to be forced to do. Do not be forced into a coven. Do not be forced into witchcraft if your friends are doing it. Do not be forced into worshiping and starting with your deities early on in your practice. Do not be forced to get your tools that witches use because you have been told that if you do not have these tools, you are not a witch. Do not be forced to do anything you are not comfortable with. And the last thing, be realistic. Do not think you can grab a broom, say a little word, and be able to fly into the sky. Do not think you can point your finger at something and it come towards you. Do not think you can control everything in your life. Do not think that you can do any of that. You have to be realistic. Do not think that witchcraft will heal you from sicknesses. A lot of witches do say that, but those are witches that some of us witches do not like to be involved with. There are some witches that believe in modern medicine. If you have a cold, get antibiotics for it. If you sprained your arm, go to the doctor and see what's going on so your arm is not healing correctly. Go to a doctor if you think you have something going on in your personal thing. Do not think that you do a spell, you drink an herbal tea, you do all of this, and the pain will go away. That's not how that works. That may have been how it worked back in like the medieval times and, during Salem and all of that. They thought that they could do stuff like that. They thought that God could save someone. No, do not think that any power above you, whatever you believe in, and do not think any type of magic you do can help you from modern day sicknesses. Go to your doctor. See what options your doctor has to do or wants you to do. If you want to lose weight, do not do a spell and then expect the spell to work and then you start losing weight. Do not think that. That is not realistic. If you want to lose weight out into the universe, you yourself have to do what it takes to do that spell, to make sure that is manifested. When I was new at this, I thought if I did a spell to lose weight, that the magic would work, and it does not. I have learned now that I am losing weight like I am. I manifested that to the universe, and I am doing what I can to lose the weight. I eat healthy now. I try to be as active as I possibly can. I don't like sitting around all day doing nothing. I don't like playing video games for hours on end, because in my eyes, that is me being lazy. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry that, I stopped saying each tip, but if you count them in your mind, there was 15 tips that I just let you know. And the 15th one was the be realistic tip. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know I have not been posting lately, but that is because I'm going through a lot of personal stuff, and I greatly appreciate all of my subscribers that are on my channel that are sticking with me. I have been having such a great time doing my projects that I have coming up. I have videos coming up soon. I have a lot of stuff that I have planned, and it's taking more time than usual because YouTube is not my full-time job. I have an actual job that I work Monday through Friday. I enjoy my times off because I can sit down and I can do my research and do what I want to do. My next video, which I'm hoping will be soon, I will be posting, would be my occult book collection. I know I made a video in the past about this, and it's on the channel right now, but when I say from that many years ago up to now, I have gotten a lot more books that I feel connect to me and my practice as a witch. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment below if you want me to do anything. And I will see all of you later.